Hey, Anya. Hey, Jim.
Morning, Autherine.
Morning. How are you?
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like every Monday.
I love it. I love it. Love it. All right. Hey, Ayana and Carrie and Anya. I'm going to close my door. And Janice. Hey, Janice.
Hey, how are you?
I am great. Hey, Ayana. I am going to
Yes.
encourage you to put your video on, sweetie. It just brings such great energy where we can see and communicate with each other. It helps the presenters. Thank you. Awesomeness. And that is Wheeler basketball. Yeah.
Baseball.
Baseball? Okay.
Yes.
I'm a basketball fan, so I go straight to the basketball.
Yeah, I played softball in high school, so it was like same thing.
Yeah, nice. Hey there, Miss Carrie. You look wonderful this morning.
Hi, thank you.
Hi. Looks like you're in your kitchen.
No, this is my dining room / home office
Oh, there you go. Yeah. / office. Okay, cool.
/
Love
virtual
it.
school. Everything
Yeah.
happens in
Yeah. Yeah. What a year. So, guys, I want to welcome you guys for jumping in on time. And we're going to do a short intro of ourselves. I think most of you know both Carrie and I. I'm an agent in this office, have been for the last, oh gosh, blankety blank years. I am not giving away my age this morning. Over 10 years, okay? All right. You pulled it out of me. I am also a PC coach, have been for the last 5 years in the office. And I live and work here in Marietta. That's me in a nutshell. And
awesome.
Carrie.
I'm Carrie Qualters. I have been a realtor with Keller Williams for 15 years. I started at the Keller Williams Buckhead office. And then when my littles were in school up this way, we moved to Roswell from Buckhead when I was pregnant with my 13-year-old. That's how long I've been in Roswell. And I moved to the East Cobb office, and I couldn't be happier. Thrilled to be in East Cobb. We love it. And I am your market center tech trainer. So that responsibility for bringing command training to you guys and all things technology.
Fantastic. Welcome, Zoya. Look at that fabulous picture. My God.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Look at that. All right. Thank you for jumping on, you guys. Okay. So, the subject of our topic today is agent to agent referrals, right? And so, we're going to keep it loose, hopefully, give you great information. So, get ready to take a lot of notes. So, Carrie's going to be the technical side of it, I'm going to be the talking point of it. So, we're going to cover why agent to agent referrals, what to do when you get them, and how to get them, right? So why, how, what, okay? And so Carrie will do demonstrations using Command, because Command is a one-stop shop. I remember when I would go to, I'm going to show you guys something. Carrie's going to laugh, right? Before Command, when I would go to mega camp or go to any kind of conference, I would have this, and then I would get this, cards. And I was very, very good at coming home and writing note cards to everybody, saying how nice and lovely and wonderful it was to meet them. And I can't say it went any further, right? If somebody responded back to me, then we would start a dialogue. So since Command though, right? as soon as I came back and wrote that card, I would hand this over to my assistant and say one or two things. Make sure we're friends on command, right? And make sure they're in my command database. And you tag them as an agent and where I met them, all that. So we're going to go into that later on. So one of the things I want to do is make sure we are having a conversation, you guys. So just stop us at any point. Good. You can unmute yourself if you have a question or if you have a comment. Does that make sense? All right. So I've got an outline thanks to Carrie, right? So why bother with agent to agent referrals? Anybody want to take that question on?
Autherine, you give away so much of your money and as a referral fee. Why would I want to do that?
Okay, that is a fabulous question. Does anybody else have another question? Because I'm going to answer that one, right? So it's a gimme, you guys. Honestly, when you have somebody call you from out of state, or maybe not out of state, let's say Warner Robins, and say, hey, I've got a client, a past client, a friend, and they're looking in your area, and I would love to send you a referral. It's a gimme. The only way you can screw it up if it's you really screw it up at the presentation, right? I mean, really. So that's easier to me than picking up my phone and calling 10,000 expireds, calling 10,000, making cold calls from the yellow pages. Because to me, when you get an agent to agent referral, it's not a warm lead, it's a hot lead. And you are the only agent that they're going to interview, right? So absolutely, I will send you your 25% or 30 or 35 any day. Okay, because here's the thing, when I give you that referral or when that referral comes into me, it's not just one transaction, right? It's making sure after the transaction, you're still nurturing that person, you're still keeping them in your database, you're doing your pop buys, you're doing your whatever. So now you have a client for life. So that initial 25% means it's a nice thank you. Because think about when you send those referrals out too, and you make that one phone call and you say, hey, I've got somebody moving to California and I would love for you to take that business on. You make one phone call. Let's say they're buying $1 million house in California. So do 30 times 25%, right? For one phone call. All right. So here's the thing about agent to agent referrals too. Like I said, it's a gimme. And a lot of people who are systematic about agent to agent referrals, they do 20 to 30% of their business comes from the easy ones. If it's a listing, you guys, oh my God, it's up to you to market that listing and to pick up other clients. Does that make sense? Because from every listing, when marketed properly, you should get 2 buyers and another listing, right? So three transactions from getting an easy referral. Okay. So that 25% to me is not a big deal. Because I'm thinking long term. I'm not just thinking about, oh, I'm giving away 25%. Just think about Oprah, Bill Gates, Gary Keller. You think they have expenses? Right. Okay. So outgoing referrals, like I said before, dollars with zero to little work. You're making a phone call. Incoming referrals are easier to convert and retain and likely to have more business. Here's a bonus, passive recruiting. So let's say somebody from an indie company, and indie is like an independent agency. Let's say Seaside Properties, and Seaside Properties is out in California. And Seaside Properties does not have that network of agents like we have. And Seaside sends you a referral. Bonus. You can now start having that conversation with Seaside about what we have to offer as an agent to agent referral base. And you could possibly recruit that agent out in California to your downline, right? So you're always thinking long term, always thinking passive income, always thinking service. Does that make
Autherine, I
sense?
think- Yes, absolutely. I think if you're like me and that recruiting conversation is a little bit awkward, just showing that agent by doing a great transaction with systems and marketing and knowledge
Yeah.
and the brilliance of Keller Williams, just demonstrating that in front of them, I think is, and having a relationship with them, I think is just as good, if not better,
Yeah,
than a recruiting conversation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you always come from contribution, right? And one of the things we can offer them is that network of agents. Okay.
Right.
All right. So, any questions on why you would bother?
I'm curious why, I've seen, from 25% to 40% for referral fees, just, over glancing. Why some lower and some higher? Is there a rule of thumb there?
Yes. Okay. So for me personally, with the initial conversation, sometimes you go to a convention and people want to talk about that. They're like, so what's your referral fee to me? And here's my conversation. Not everybody does it this way. The people who are extra successful at getting a lot of referrals coming in, they do. So it's a sliding scale, Jim, right? So I usually say the first one is 25%. I said, first one is 25%. You can go up to 40% with the fifth one, right? So it's a sliding scale. If there's an agent that's sending me multiple referrals, I am gonna make sure that I go up the scale.
I think that's really
Does
smart.
that make
That's, but different agents do
Mhm.
different things. You'll see, when you go to conventions, you'll see postcards and business cards that say, we always pay 35% referrals in Austin, Texas. And so you might be, as somebody who sends referrals, you might save his card, right? Because he pays a higher referral fee. We'll see.
That's
I see
right.
25 more than anything else. Don't you, Autherine?
I see 25, yeah. And so Jim, here's an example. Let's say, let me see. Warner Robins is not that small, but it could be. But Atlanta is huge, 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 huge. So it's a lot of Atlanta people that go to conventions, right? And I want them to choose me. And I know I'm competing with 300 more KW agents from right here in Atlanta. I might say 35%. Because I know everybody else is going to say 25%. As opposed to me being in a small market, Warner Robins or something, and it's just me and maybe 3 others that went to convention that year, I'm going to say 25%.
I was
So
just curious who
different-
sets the rate, if that's
You
something that,
do.
so the one getting the referral is the one that sets the rate? Or the one giving the referral?
The one, well, they're going to have a conversation with you. It's like, what do you pay on referrals? And you set your rate. And typically it's 25%. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So how do you meet agents? Like I say, conventions, masterminds, family reunion, mega camp. What's the other thing that I went to? I went to so many things this year on virtually. And the great thing about being there physically is that you get to go to a lot of different places. You go out to dinner, you go to breakfast, you go to lunch, you go to the bars in the afternoon, and you have conversations and you work on that relationships. One of the things I thought Keller Williams did great this year with the virtual, what was it? Was it Mega Camp?
Mega Camp
Yeah.
was virtual. Mhm.
Was virtual, and that platform that they use, they broke us out into different rooms with people who are on the same production level or do the same job. Like team leaders would go into team leader rooms, PCs go, and so you had a chance there to actually go ahead and do your you're masterminding and you're getting in touch with either. I actually got a referral from just responding to somebody on one of the chats. Said, oh, I have a client that might be coming to Atlanta next year. And I typed, oh, I am Autherine. I live in Marietta, Atlanta. I've been here forever. I know the school districts like the back of my hand, blah, blah, blah. And I give them some more information about me and the service. I would love to help your clients. Here's my phone number. So I put all of that in the chat. And so she called me, and the person's going to come next year. So it's a long-term referral. And that one didn't cost me a thing. Okay. So conventions, Mastermind, Inman Connect, local boards, right? If you go to local board, state board, NAR, there's a convention coming up for, is it FMLS or something like that? One of those. Remember when you go to those conventions like National Association of Realtors, they're realtors from all over the country. And so that's one of the ways to meet agents. Social media, especially special interest group, like a tech group or a tool you use, or Generation X or something like that. You can get great referrals on social media because now we have the ability to sit in our kitchen, right, or in our dining room and meet agents who are actually all over the world. So just put your thinking caps on about how to meet agents, right? Here's another one that I love. We have the ability in this company to teach. And so one of the gifts that we got this year was virtual, using the virtual platform. So you can go teach something, learning. I know agents who travel all over the place to go to Bold. They don't just take Bold when it comes here. They travel to California or Florida or wherever, because it's a business write-off to take Bold, with the main focus of meeting people at Bold in that city, which that to me was like, boom, why didn't I think about that? Because here's the thing, when you travel to Florida to do Bold from Atlanta, it's just you. It's just you with maybe 70 other agents from Florida. Hey, and it's what, 6 weeks? It used to be 6 weeks. And so you're fostering that relationship.
That's pretty brilliant. I feel like I should have thought of that.
That's what when I heard it, I'm like, wow, it only took me 10 plus years to hear that idea, right? Masterminds on Facebook or any other platform, right? Do a lot of mastermind networking with real estate investor groups from out of town, out of state. I mean, just foster those relationships. Here's another one that I love, 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 love. Your sphere of influence. Who do they know out of town? I got a text last month from one of my past clients because he bought property in Washington, D.C. And he said, Autherine, you've got to meet this agent. She is fantastic. And you've got to meet her. She's with a different company. And so he sent me a text. Here's her information. I need you to call her. So I need to call her. So sphere of influence. And I hope you guys are taking some notes because some of these I didn't think about. So your sphere of influence, you can always say, hey, you know what? I've got one of those calls that you make to your sphere. People usually ask me, oh my God, I'm reaching out to my sphere again. What am I gonna say? Well, hey, Jim, it's Autherine. How are you? Right? Quick business call. Today I'm calling because I've got some people moving to whatever. Or, you know what? I know that you travel a lot and you do business in Washington, D.C. Do you know any agents there? Because I'd like to add that an agent from Washington, D.C. to my network. And I'm looking and I don't have a go-to agent. Who do you know? All right. KW and other referral groups on Facebook. There are tons and tons of them. And then what else? Oh, ladies of real estate, for you ladies. There are tons and tons of ladies on there that are out of state. Guys, and there are tons of guy groups, real estate guy groups for you, Jim, on Facebook. Find them, go in and get to know people in that group. And of course, when you go into the groups, don't just do a like. Leave a comment. Add to the conversation, right? So they get to see your name and know you, because trust me, you're commenting enough, somebody's going to click on your name and see what state you're from. Then they're going to go on your Facebook page. They're going to troll you to see how active you are. They're going to look for you on LinkedIn. People disqualify themselves sometimes without even knowing it. So
those sites, you have to be, I mean, those Facebook groups, you have to be purposeful about being helpful and interactive, because they are huge groups and there's lots of Atlanta people on them. And so can't just sit back and watch and listen and read. You really got to make it part of your lead gen day to go on those sites and be interactive.
Exactly. And any kind of information that you can give or suggestions that you can give, and it doesn't have to be long. Like right now I'm doing my Thanksgiving cards, my gratitude cards, and they've already gone out. And so later on, I am just going to go into a couple of those groups and say, hey, oh my God, if you're not sending out these gratitude cards, you should, because of the comments and the feedback that I'm getting from them. And then here is the script. Here's what I'm saying. You just drop it there and you go. People appreciate that. Do you have any comments there, Carrie?
No, I think those are all great ideas. When we were prepping for this class, I realized up until this year, 30% of my deals have been from agent to agent referrals. And I actually use that as part of my listing and buyer consultation, when it's competitive, because I think if an agent is sending you business, that really shows that you're a good agent, because they would know, right? And this year it really dropped off. And so I was looking at what the heck, and it's because I'm not traveling 100%. I was relying on one pillar of lead gen for agents, and that was traveling and networking at events. So it really opened my eyes to needing to do some of these other things more consistently, which we'll talk about how I'm going to use command to make that happen.
Yeah.
To be more consistent with more types of touches.
Yeah, I've managed a heating and air company for about 10 years in the area. So I've gotten so many referrals from other contractors. And like you said, it's a layup. All you got to do is walk in and smile and shake their hand and you have their business.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't different.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, and so one of the reasons why we're teaching this, if you want to learn something, just teach it. Because both of us realize that, as far as your systems, our systems aren't that great. So we're teaching it so we can learn this, right? Carrie, do you want to demonstrate the KW Command Referral app right now?
Yeah, sure. Let me show you guys. So we went through, let's see, you need to enable me to share, please.
Yes, ma'am. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, where did you go? Here we go. More. All right, more.
So we've talked about sort of a lot of organic ways to meet agents outside your area. Or I just closed last month a referral from a Buckhead agent who just knew that she didn't know the Roswell area well enough for these clients who were terribly picky, that she wasn't going to do that work. So she sent it to me for the referral fee, even though she lives right down the road and could easily. Yes, ma'am.
How do I here? Hold on.
Can you click on the
I'm
the
clicking
three
on.
dots?
Oh, wait, I think I found it. Carrie, click on the three little. Oh, wait a minute.
Hey,
I don't know
Lori.
why this. Why isn't this working, Carrie? What am
Hi.
I don't know why it's not working.
Host disabled screen sharing. Really? Hang on.
We'll get it.
All right. Okay. What? Tell me what to do again, because I'm.
So you clicked on the three little dots on my picture? There's a little blue thing with three dots. Is there an
Says
option?
chat. No, it says chat or pin.
Ruh-roh.
Rough row.
I think usually it says make a co-host.
Yeah,
This is your Zoom account, right?
I think so.
Or is it like Imani's or something? Surely it's yours because you're hosting.
Mine. Here we go. More. Okay. All right. We're just going to talk through this until I figure it out.
I can do that.
Yeah. All right. Hang on. Okay, you guys. So what's your value proposition to agents? Well, why should they send their clients to you over someone else? What do you all think while I'm figuring this out?
Feel like that comes down to personal relationship with the agent, right?
Okay. Yes,
Yeah. Want to
partly.
have a good relationship with them, but then you could be drinking buddies with them, but them not know how great you are. So I think in some of your communications, you do have to say, this is how we treat our clients.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, they have to trust you to do the job right. I mean, you go drinking
Right.
after the deal's done.
Exactly. I think also, I like to show that through written success stories. So, you take a client and you write exactly what happened. Michael Mayer does a great job of showing like a template for that of what happened, what could have been like the worst case scenario had you not been on the job, how you saved the day, and how they're happy today. And you kind of write, the story of one of your clients. And then you send that as a blog post or an email newsletter or something like that. Just, hey, we're so happy for our clients and here's what happened. I think that's a great way to show expertise without saying like, I'm great, which can sound kind of obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard to do. There's a fine line there.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Yeah. You want to be braggadocious and weird about it.
I
And
mean,
that's why
we all know Authorine's great. She doesn't have to say it, but
That's
some
right.
of us have to kind of promote ourselves, because if we don't promote ourselves, nobody else is going to do it for us.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do we know Arthurine's great? It's because she shows us she's great, right?
Well, she's so good at these Zoom classes.
No.
There you go, teaching.
Exactly.
Teaching.
I love teaching, right? And somebody has disabled my screen. It says host disabled screen. So maybe this is Julianne's screen.
Oh.
Maybe. So
Not much
while we're talking this through, I'm gonna text Imani and see whose Zoom are we using, because I can't even share my screen. So it might be Julianne's, right? So hang on, you guys.
Imani, save us.
Imani, save us. Whose Zoom are we using?
So I just wanted to say that I was at the Subaru dealer this morning, and I had my name badge on, and I have a mask that says KW on it. And a guy came up to me. He works there. He's a brand ambassador for Subaru. And he came over and started talking to me, and he's like, well, I'm not ready to sell yet, but I'm going to be. He goes, can I get your card? He's like, I will send people your way. You're very nice to talk to. You're very personable. He's like, I've sold with Keller Williams before, and I know they're great. It was awesome. I'm like, I had a 25-minute conversation with him.
Yay.
So, yeah. And he's like,
Yeah.
and he asked me, he's like, how long you been doing it? And I was honest. I'm like, I'm just getting started. He's like, well, I need to support you even more. Like that. So I was like,
Great. I'm so happy.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, that's awesome. So that was good. And then,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to switch to my computer. My phone's dying but hold on a second. Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay, so and I hope she can hear me. So you want to reward that behavior, right? And it's same thing with referrals. When somebody calls you and say, hey, I've got a referral for you. I don't know when he's going to really do it. He's been talking about it. He lives in Atlanta. I want to send you his information, but I'm not sure if he's ready. After you thank them, you go, okay, so what's your mailing address? That's all you need to know, right? Get their mailing address and immediately reward the behavior, right? Reward the thought. Don't wait until it closes, because we know once it closes, we're going to send them their 25% check, right? You want to send them a gift card for thinking about you. And I do this every time. Every single time.
You do it when they send you a name for a tenant who has the worst credit ever and can't even rent an apartment. You send the thank you for that because they thought of you when they thought of real estate. And I'll tell you what we do that kind of makes a good impression is there's a company called Giftable, and we send a little giftable as a thank you note instead of a handwritten note. And it's like a bath bomb. And then you pick, it's got maybe a dozen or so different gifts. Liquor flavored candies. They're all different, but unique and cute, and really just a way to say thank you and stand out a little bit. So we like giftables.
I like that. I just wrote that down. So giftable. So, all right. So of course, your value proposition is that you're going to keep them up to date. You are going to keep them up to date. They won't have to pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, what's happening? No, you're going to keep them up to date. Hey, I didn't hear from your client, right? Or we talked, he's with my loan officer. Or, oh my God, we saw 10,000 homes and we finally chose one and we're under contract, right? And then when you close, you're like, we close, your check will be on the way. So always, just like you would do with with the client, right? Because, we have to talk to our client through all of the contingencies. You will treat the agent the same way. All right? Make sense? Okay.
So when
Go ahead, Jim.
When the checks get cut at the closing table, will there be a separate check for that referral agent? I'm assuming we are responsible of mailing that check to them or getting it to them.
Yeah, they cut a separate check to their broker, and you can mail it to them. You can have the attorney send it right to them, but I like to mail it in a nice little card.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So the check, I've already set up mine in command. We're supposed to close on December 3rd. So Keller Williams will cut the check from the referral fee and hand it to me because they're in Tennessee. And then I will mail it to them.
Yeah. Did you get an agent-to-agent referral form signed? And do you have the agent's federal ID, their office number?
Yes, we did all that through command.
Okay, great. Yeah. So okay. Melissa will give you a check.
Okay. Can I ask you very quickly, Carrie mentioned giftables. Do y'all have any other ideas of what you can send just as a quick thank you, a little more personable?
So I keep a stack of cards in here.
Starbucks gift cards.
I
Like
keep
how
a stack of cards here, right? And I keep a stack of Starbucks gift cards. I buy them 10 at a time, and I buy them for $10 for the sole purpose of sending it to my referral folks. And I do that not just for agents, but for clients here, right? And also, don't forget Amazon. Amazon
Okay.
gift cards.
Mhm.
You can go on Amazon and actually send it straight to them from Amazon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you
But
know a
you-
little something about them, go pick a gift on Amazon and have it sent to them. If you know stuff about them. I've done Omaha steaks.
Mhm.
I just received a beautiful bouquet of flowers from an outgoing referral that I sent, and that was
Oh.
really sweet.
Yeah.
About how much
Yeah.
do
It
you
matters what you
spend?
send.
I send for the initial thank you, I'll send, it just depends. I'll send a quick $10 Starbucks card, or now listen, if it's a big one, I might send a $45 Amazon card or
Yeah.
$25, you know? Yeah. Because if
Yeah,
you're
I sent this
about to make,
$1 million in business. So, you know, an expensive bouquet of flowers is appropriate, I think.
Can y'all give me some kind of indication that this house is 370? So what would be an appropriate amount?
When you mail the commission check, I think just a handwritten note of gratitude with the check, that check is gift enough.
That's pretty big. And this, and I won't take up too much time. This particular referral, he's getting the referral fee from me, but he was actually recommended by a friend of mine who's a broker up in Tennessee. So I feel like I need to. She's the one I actually know, but I think she was just trying to do both of us, help us both out. But I feel like I need to send her something.
A
yeah,
note.
send her $25 gift card.
How much?
Okay. $25 gift card
Okay, with a note and okay.
with a
Okay,
very
thank-
sweet note. Because trust
Yeah.
me, it's the note that they're gonna remember.
Yeah, and I love her, so she's great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then of course, please do keep her in your network. Keep her in your database so you can systematically talk to her and send her cards and a random gift. If she's a team leader, you want to make sure. And even for the agent, you want to do that too. Okay.
That's quite a friend you have.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
she's great. Our children had grown up together, so yeah, she's a good one.
right. So, which segues me right into what we want to talk about next, and that Carrie and I are going to get so much better at. So, you not only put your referral partners in your database, right? You also want to put them on 36 touch, just like you would a past client or a past buyer. Or you want to put them on an 8x8. All right, I'm going to talk to them, they're going to see my face, hear from me 8 times in 8 weeks. All right.
That's where I'm about to move from organic referrals that
Yeah.
happened naturally because I was making friends and having drinks at Mega Camp to purposeful reminding agents all over the country who I am and what great work we do. And to me, I put myself in the spot of an agent who gives referrals. So as an agent who gives referrals, what type of communication would I like from other agents? And to me, the first thing I thought about was Michelle Byers' lessons learned in team meeting. What if you wrote up a lesson learned and sent it to all your agent friends of, look at this thing that happened in this wild transaction and how I fixed it and what I learned about it. Don't let that happen to you. I thought that would be a cute touch, or a technology tip, or a product recommendation. Tell them about giftables. Tell them, and just a little newsletter just for agents. That's my goal.
That's your goal. All right.
Purposeful.
And so, and please do connect on social media with them.
Yes.
Go into Facebook and Facebook friend them. Okay. That way they can see what's going on in your life, right? You can see what's going on in their lives. It makes a closer relationship between both you and that agent. And you can have more meaningful conversations. Oh my God, Johnny just got accepted to a Little League, or oh my God, he's only 10 and he's playing with the big boys. You know what? It makes it more personable. Because don't you want to do business with people you know and love and trust? Agents are the same way, just like your clients, right? This is where we were going to demonstrate the smart plan for you to use to set this up. I still can't, I am disabled from sharing the screen. This is why I think I am using somebody else's and not mine.
Can't
So
magically do it now, but you can use Command Smart Plans. And what's cool is I got on this morning, and now Smart Plans, now you can have access to other agents' plans all over the country.
Yes.
And so I searched for agent referral smart plans, and somebody has one in there. And it's a quarterly checkup call to make sure that the areas that they serve are still the same, and to let them know your areas of service and remind them of. So I would probably build a fancier one, but that would be a good one to copy, to have in place to start, and then add a couple more touches that are more my personality than just updating service areas. That felt a little dry to me. I would probably add some more humor to mine. But
Are you a high I?
Huh?
Are
I'm in
you a I?
SIC.
Okay, because when I think of you, I always think of you as a C, an SC.
Everybody does. Yeah. No, I have
SC, yeah.
SIC.
All right, so here's the thing, Carrie. We can't demonstrate it. We can tell them where to go to set it up.
Absolutely.
So why don't you walk them through going from your agent.kw.com to
Okay.
setting up a smart plan.
Now you're challenging the tech trainer to do it without even looking at the screen. You ready? So you're going to click on the smart plan icon on the left-hand side, and that's going to take you to your smart plan library. If you're not using smart plans yet, you're not going to see anything there. It'll be empty. So the first thing you have to do is copy a smart plan from the public library to your own personal library. So you're going to toggle between your library and the KW library that it's on the right. So when you click on that KW library, you'll see Keller Williams International has created 6 or 8 smart plans that are pretty generic. There's an 8x8, there's a quarterly call, there's a birthday plan, there's a home anniversary plan. But then if you scroll down, you'll see plans from other agents around the country that have published their plans for us to copy. So now this is not curated or moderated. So you want to make sure and read the plan, make sure people could put junk up there. So make sure you really like the plan before you just copy it and use it, right? So you find a plan that you like, and then you copy it over to your own personal library. Once it's in your personal library, you can click on a pencil to edit it, and you can add steps. You can change the wording in the emails that are in the plan. And that smart plan, once it's launched on a contact, is going to send emails. It's going to remind you to do things. So you can say, tell me to call them on this day. And those tasks will show up in your task list in Command. So once you have smart plans running, it's going to automatically systematize your lead generation to your sphere, to your agents, to your leads, everybody that you have in there. You're going to have a to-do list so that you know who to call and what to do every day. How's that?
In a nutshell, you guys got it? All right.
Smart plans are awesome, because once you get busy, you can't live off of Post-it notes and scrawled messages and reminders on the backs of envelopes. You got to start automating some of it.
I do have a question about the referral network. I've gotten several requests to be in other people's referral networks.
Yeah.
Should I be making contact with these people before I just randomly accept them?
Yeah, this is your call. So yeah, you can. I've chosen to keep mine people that I know. That's just my choice. You could, and it's kind of like how I treat my Facebook versus my LinkedIn. If somebody asks me to link in with them, I accept it. I don't care who they are. It's okay. I think that KW referral network could get overwhelming if you accepted every one of those. That's just my personal.
Well, I'm new and don't know anybody. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like
You might
sometimes the
make
best way to
choice,
get to
I'm
know
gonna
people
accept
is,
them all. Yeah, you might make that choice to accept them all and then reach out to them and say, hey, I just accepted your request. Tell me a little about you.
okay,
I think it is powerful as an outgoing tool. So one thing that you can do is you can go to the US Census website and you can
Mhm.
see for the last 5 years where people have come and gone from Atlanta. So you can see,
you can see that in command too. I mean,
you
there's
can, but
Yeah.
in
migration
command,
charts.
it only shows the referrals that have been logged in command to date.
Okay.
So it's a much smaller sample
Yeah.
size and you'll only see a
Mhm.
few. And, you know, I'd rather see kind of where have millions of people gone. So if you
Yeah.
go to the census website, you can see that a lot of people come to and from Atlanta to California and to Florida, and
just-
to other Georgia counties.
Yeah, I just
All right.
basically kind of looking at it and like New York, Chicago, San Francisco. I mean, those, I need to know all the agents I can from there because everybody's fleeing those areas.
Yes.
Yep. So I would go to those cities in your command referral network and see who has, personally, I would see who has customized their bio and put a good picture up and
Mhm.
filled out their, you know, some people just leave that generic KW language on there and you know that they're not engaged with that referral process. I might look for people that are my age that we might have stuff in common with our kids and stuff to talk about. I'm just, you know, and start looking for connections and reach out to them.
Do you feel like you're at a disadvantage as a newer agent and you don't have all of that behind you when people are looking?
No.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. And I'll tell you sometimes, so I sent a referral out because I had just sold their home and they moved away. And so I sent them to somebody I knew and I had met at one of the conventions. And so she has a team and she gave them to her buyer's agent. Didn't hear anything. So I asked my clients, what's going on? They did not like the team concept. They went to a totally different person outside of Keller Williams who
And you
could
didn't
take
get the
care of
referral fee.
them. Yep, didn't get a referral fee. Yeah.
I had that happen to me too. Yep.
So the only person who cares that you're new is you.
That's right.
So just get over it. Yeah. Because
I'll tell
people
you something
want
you can do super
Yeah.
purposefully as a newer agent is go look for other newer agents out on that network, connect
Yeah.
5 or 6 of you together and do a monthly mastermind call. You'll really get to
Perfect.
know each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And when you're doing your lead generation, why not include some agents in that?
Definitely.
Just say, hey, I was on here and I noticed that you're newer and I was just calling to touch base with you. You're part of my lead gen activity today. And do the forward like you do with anybody else. Just forward them. Make notes, put them in command and go over to the note section and put your notes in. So the next time you talk to them, you can ask them about the
How's it
dog or the cat or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
that
would say
way,
I'm working to build my agent referral network and I noticed your
Absolutely.
profile and I just wanted to get to know you a little more.
yeah. So when I'm at the water cooler and I'm going, you know what? Gosh, my best friend's moving to Houston and I don't have an agent, they'll go, or my best friend's moving to Marietta and I don't have an agent, they'll go, you know what? I'm in a mastermind group with this girl named Janice. Why don't you call her? Right? That's how you build your agent to referral base. Because remember, it's not just that agent. It's the other agents in the office that they're going to refer to you because you have a relationship with them.
Yeah. I have an agent in Katy, Texas that has sent multiple agents to me because you know what happens is somebody posts on the Quan Facebook page or on the Rawls Group Facebook page, I've got a client going to Tampa, who do you know? And so we refer agents to each other for each other's clients all the time. So it doesn't necessarily have to be they have a client.
Right. Exactly.
I like to ask
All right.
agents about their goals and how their goals are going. And that's true of it because I do a lot of business to business networking too. So any small business owner, realtors included,
Yeah.
have you done your business planning for 2021 yet? What are your goals? And then when you make that first quarter call, how's it going? Because to me, there's nothing more impactful on a relationship than you helping keep me accountable. That is a lot to, right, Autherine?
Yeah. Yeah. We used to meet once a year, every year. I
Mhm.
don't think we met last year. We need to meet this year.
We do.
Yeah. And we would just do it in December, like
Mhm.
upstairs over coffee or something. Like, what are
We're
you
fun
goals next?
catch up on our businesses time. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Any questions before we go into the tracking and the closing of your referral business? You guys getting something out of this? And this is moving from E to P, right? From entrepreneurial to purposeful with your referral agent to agent referral business. You notice we always call it a business because we know how lucrative it could be when you're purposeful about it. And thanks to command and all the other stuff, it's not hard to do.
Mhm.
So
Going to
here's
E-
one of the things I'm gonna, go ahead.
I was saying going to E to P means employing systems and people. And so command is that system that helps you
Yeah.
be more systematic about it.
Yeah, yeah. And I was gonna go say something else, but it will come back to me.
Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. The next time you guys see bold, please do join bold. I think I made tons and tons of connections through bold that have really paid off in my referral business. And I think bold is now $99 as opposed to $8.99. Jump in, get into the chat, and just make connections. One good referral will pay for that 10 times over. Okay. All right. So let's talk about your tracking and closing your referral business. Opportunities. Now, how do you enter an outgoing referral in command and see that as part
So
of your
incoming
pipeline?
referrals, you
Yeah.
just enter like any other deal, right? It's just a
Yeah.
buyer or a seller that you're working with. And in that opportunity, you're going to have to document the W-9 tax information for the other broker and have a broker to broker referral form. So that it's really just a little more paperwork to let the office know that you're sending a referral form out. And then it does go on your kind of pay at close, that we have a referral going out so that the checks get cut correctly. If you send a referral to California, the office has no idea that is going on unless you tell them. So you have to create an opportunity for that. And there's a drop down on the left side. And usually you click on that and you say a residential transaction. But there's another option there that you guys probably haven't even noticed that says referral transaction. So you just click on referral, and then that's going to give you your cheat sheet of forms that Sherry has put in there. So again, you need the W-9 and the referral form for those as well. And then for me, if you're using opportunities to predict and track your income on your pipeline, then you're just going to enter a 0.075 commission. If you're doing a 25% referral fee on a 3% commission, you can still put that they're buying $1 million house. And if you just change your commission to be instead of 3%, 0.075, it'll calculate that referral fee correctly in your income.
Great. And if you guys use Kelly, right? Command to send your referrals out or to accept a referral, what that does, it will drop it straight into your opportunity.
Right. And it also helps build that map that Jim was talking about earlier.
Yes, it does.
The more that we put them in there, the better data we're going to have of where referrals are coming and going from.
Right. So you can have the initial conversation whether or not you will accept this referral, and you can go ahead and send out that referral paperwork. But of course, please do put it in command.
Yeah. I would say that very few people
everything.
are sending that initial referral Like I've seen a couple in the last 2 years that says, I have a referral for Atlanta. And you get on there and you say, I'll do it or something like that. It's really more the referral happens as a personal relationship. And then you're putting the referral in command as an housekeeping activity.
Yeah.
Not necessarily happening in command.
No, right. Don't do that would be called a broadcast. When you just say, you know what, shoot, here's 5 agents that I want to send this referral to. I don't have time to call them. Let me do a broadcast and see who picks it up first. And you can also go into that command piece and put a timer on it. Okay, I want them to respond back to me in 2 hours. You can do that. I guess we'll do a follow-up class where we can demo this for you guys. We'll do referrals through command, right? We'll do that part where you can put that timer in and broadcast it out. And
Now
if you guys ever, if you ever see something like that where somebody's just doing a broadcast, one of the things I've learned is that go in, if you want to accept it, go in and not just say, yes, I'll accept it. Actually put a little bit of your bio in there. Just stand out.
Why you'd be great for it. Yeah. Now I've thought somebody who has some bandwidth to do this could look at that census map and say, oh, people are coming here from San Francisco. I'm going to do a Facebook ad for San Francisco. And then I'm going to take those Facebook leads that I'm getting for $1 a piece and I'm going to broadcast them as referrals.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. You don't have to just lead gen here. You can lead gen anywhere because we have a referral system. Make sense, you guys? Any questions before we wrap it up? Let's see, how much time do we have? Oh, 4 minutes. Perfect.
Yay. Perfect. What's the next step everybody's going to take towards systematizing their agent business? Mine is going to be to launch a newsletter. That's my next step.
And mine is sending out a piece to my agents this week. Something of value we're sending out.
Perfect.
Well, I guess I'll get my gift cards.
Good.
That's yeah. And what did you say, Jim?
I said I just got to make more friends.
Make more friends. That's the fun part.
When you say more,
Yeah, me too.
when you say more, that's kind of a generic thing. So as a coach, I have to tie you down a little bit more. So what does more mean?
More than I currently have.
Like how many?
At least one more.
Okay, that works for you. It works for me. Is
Are
one
y'all-
more enough for you to get to your goals?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Is one more enough for you to get to your goal?
Baby steps. I'm learning on the fly. So if I can do more today than I did yesterday, then it's at least a step in the right direction.
I like to set activity goals. So I might say that I'm going to contact 5 agents that I didn't know last week, this week.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Somebody else was saying their action step. Who was that?
I was going to say, I'm on the mastermind group. When you join those groups, it can be a little overwhelming because they're constantly talking. And some of them get a little carried away. Sometimes I think that's kind of hard to navigate. Which ones do you actually want to chime in on, and which ones do you just want to kind of, I don't want to get involved in this conversation,
I totally agree. Those Facebook groups are not high on my list of activities. Because when an Atlanta opportunity comes up, it's like a huge jump ball. There's and I personally don't think it was worth it. But now I'm in a couple of command Facebook groups because I know I can come from contribution with people asking command questions. So I'm more active there. I'm in a group called Leslie and Andy Peters 33 touch ideas or 36 touch ideas. And it's a
Mhm.
smaller group and it's ideas. What can I do as a Popeye? We did this event. And so I'm active on that one. So I would go for smaller groups that are around something you're into. Realtors who love horses. What, you know, it's out there if you can think of it, or create it if not. Moms, there's a lot of work-life balance conversations around being a realtor mom or realtor dad or whatever. And there's some Facebook groups that are good on that. So that's where I would focus more than those referral groups personally.
I was gonna look at I have a Peloton, and I was gonna look at people that are on Peloton that are Keller Williams.
Peloton realtor group. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look for that because you know, my Jason just found his company's group on there, and he didn't know that they were on there. He's like, "You should look," and I'm like, "Yeah, I should look." So you can actually tag yourself in different tags, and then you can find people like as you're working out. So
I love that. I love
so
that.
I'm gonna do that, definitely. I'm gonna do that today, actually. So
Hey, if you start one of those groups and buy me a Peloton, I'll be on there with you.
Peloton is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Right?
I bet
So you
there's
can
an Orange
definitely-
Theory real estate group. I bet there's,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
realtors.
I'm more of a Planet Fitness type.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I love my Peloton. It's great.
And
So,
don't forget, you guys, there are also other groups that are everyday groups, like if you sew, right? If you garden, if you like going up hiking Kennesaw Mountain, go look for those groups and get on there.
My favorite advice that applies to agent referrals too is Justin Landis once said, do what you love doing, just never do it alone.
mhm.
And I think
Yeah.
about that a lot when I'm trying to lead gen all the time. You know, just do what you, Shane on my team has been canvassing politically. And that has taken up a ton of her hours lately. And she feels bad about it. And I told her, you know, you're out there doing what you love to do alongside other people and knocking on doors. This is great. And she's
Mhm.
gotten
Yeah.
referrals, started doing it. So
And if you can knock on people's doors politically, I mean, that may be one of the hardest things in the world to do,
Yeah.
this year especially.
because I am not nice to people that knock on my doors politically.
I know. Well, guys, we are at the end of this group session, and we really do hope you did get something out of it and that you will take action on some of the ideas that you've heard here today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
You are so welcome, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Miss Carrie.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.